Hey everybody, this is a great book. I love the message. It's called Ricky the Rock That Couldn't Roll. And it is by Mr. J and illustrated by Aaron Wozniak. Ricky the Rock That Couldn't Roll. Over the lake and out past the bay was a green grassy hill where the rocks came to play. They would race to the top to take in the view, then roll their way down, the way rocks love to do. There were Kip, Pip, and Chester, and Marvin the Boulder. Ignatius played too, though he was much older. And a group called the Pebbles never ever sat still, zigzagging their way up and over the hill. Kai was a meteorite and not from this planet, and Maya was lava but taken for granite. How do you make a tissue dance? Seriously? Stu is the smart one, Parker the clown, and grumpy old Ebert rolled round with a frown. Gabby was sassy, Lisi had flair, Emma was giggly, and Hud had black hair. Come on, Papa, be a good boy. But the one trait that seemed to be shared by them all was that every rock there was shaped like a ball. Let me read that again. But the one trait that seemed to be shared by them all was that every rock there was shaped like a ball, and because they were round, they could easily roll through the grass past the lake, up and over the knoll. Except poor Ricky, who quietly sat. You see, Rick couldn't roll because one side was flat. You see Ebert saying, what part of this is supposed to be fun? He's a curmudgeon. It's a good word, curmudgeon. His friends didn't get it. Come roll, they would chant. So Ricky tried, but replied, I'm sorry, I can't. Even that little ladybug is trying to help him. Ladybug's been in every page. But the rocks were determined. They were sure they could solve Ricky's flat-sided problem and help him revolve. So Marvin the Boulder, with his impressive physique, carried Rick all the way to the hill's grassy peak. Then he pushed him downhill, yelling, keep rolling, kid. But Rick didn't roll. He just kind of slid. Rick says this feels like a bad idea. Well, the rocks weren't done, not by a mile. Surely this next try would get Rick to smile. They stuck rubber balls all over Rick, using big gobs of glue to get them to stick. They were proud of themselves. This will work, they announced. But Ricky still couldn't roll. Now he just sort of bounced. And he's saying, no good, no good, no good. There's that ladybug again. Well, they pushed and they pulled, trying every which way to get Rick to roll, but by the end of the day, nothing had worked just like Rick expected, and he ended up feeling depressed and dejected. It's no use, Ricky sighed. There just isn't a way, so I'll sit off to the side and watch you all play. But his friends wouldn't quit. "We're here for you, brother, and we'll get you to roll one way or another." So they pondered and thought, each straining his brain, till they looked up and saw it was starting to rain. Well, we know a lot about that. We had a lot of rain lately. And that's when it hit that smart stone named Stu. "Eureka!" he shouted. "I know just what to do." He explained to them how they would get Rick to tumble. "My plan is pure genius." Stu wasn't too humble. So they carried our hero down the road but a mile, to the lake where they gathered up mud they could pile. On the flat side of Rick, creating a mound that they shaped, smoothed, and sculpted until it was round. Then after the rain, with the sun in the sky, they left him to bake till the mud was all dry. They gathered up vines and one colorful feather that they wrapped all round Rick to keep it together. Wow, that's really smart. Stu came up with a great idea. Let's see if it works. When the last knot was tied and the work was all done, only one step left. The only step left was for Rick to have fun. They stood back and watched, feeling nervous and tense, as Rick breathed in deep with increasing suspense. He moved slowly at first, testing out his new mold, and then, for the first time, if you can make a prediction, what is the word that's going to rhyme with mold on the next page? Ricky the Rock rolled. Oh, look at him smiling. I know, this is a great story. Ricky got to roll. It's awesome. So Bria the ladybug, who'd been there from the start, felt a surge of pure joy swell up in her heart. She thought, as she watched her friends play on the hill, that there's always a way if there's also a will. And she said to herself as Ricky rolled down the slope, "When you're surrounded by love, you always have hope." Isn't that right? When you're surrounded by love, you always have hope. And if there's always a way, and there's always a will, I think you might find some success. And isn't it great how Ricky's friends didn't let what made him different stop him from being included? They found a way to help him, and he got to play just like the other kids. Great book, great story. Hope you liked it as much as I did. Have a great day, everybody.
I know, my darling. I know. That was a good book, right? Yes, I know.
Ricky got to roll. Ricky got to roll. It's very exciting. I know. You like books. Oh, and you like kisses. I know.